So today I was taking one of my cats to the vet, and on the radio comes
Summer, L'estate, one of the four seasons by Antonio Vivaldi, and I thought about a request that I have received a long time ago by the toy collector of Seville, asking me if I could translate the sonnets preceding or actually explaining the four seasons by Vivaldi. So here I am. Hello and welcome to LIS. Io sono Pietro, the Song Translations Guy, quello della traduzione delle canzoni, and in this episode we will translate not really a song but a sonnet by Antonio Vivaldi, famous Venetian composer of the late 17th and 18th century. The four seasons, or le quattro stagioni in Italian, are probably his most famous and most recognizable musical works, but not many people know that these violin concertos, and this is what the four seasons are accompanied by some sonnets explaining, giving a sort of setting of what the music narrates. So there's the musical narration and also a sort of explanation in a poem form. And out of the four seasons, I have chosen summer because it's now summer in Italy and a very hot one. So it seemed to me appropriate to give you this translation today. Now, bear in mind that the four seasons, le quattro stagioni, were composed or written in the very early 18th century. They were published officially in 1725, but Vivaldi himself said that he composed them before that date. So this is an ancient, so to say, kind of Italian. This is not your standard Italian, but I will try to make the translation as quick and effective as possible, trying to keep explanations to a bare minimum. If you need, you can pause, you can rewind, you can slow down my explanations, but otherwise this video is going to be too long. As usual, you will find the lyrics on this part of the screen and maybe some explanations in the lower portion. And let's go. Now, l'estate, probably the most famous part of this musical piece, is the one that follows. And this is a part that comes towards the end of the musical composition, and it reflects the part of the sonnet that comes towards the end, where there's a storm coming and then the storm finally comes. And this, in my opinion, is the storm. This piece of music has a kind of a stormy quality to it. But let's start from the beginning, where there is no storm.
I'm reading from the screen.
Sotto dura stagion dal sole accesa. Sotto dura stagion. Sotto, under. Dura, the hard. Stagion is season. Dal sole, by the sun. Accesa. Accesa means lit or set on fire, could also mean. So under this hard season, set on fire or lit by the sun. Langue l'uom, written with an H. Remember, this is ancient Italian. Langue il gregge ed arde il pino. Langue, it languishes. It is there, tired. The man languishes. Langue il gregge, the herd of sheep or the flock of sheep, languishes. E arde il pino. And the pine tree, arde, is burning. Scioglie il cucco la voce e tosto intesa canta la tortorella e il gardellino. Scioglie il cucco la voce. The cuckoo bird, clears his voice. Scioglie means it melts, but also when you're talking about sciogliere I muscoli means loosen your muscles, or in this case, the cuckoo loosens its vocal cords in order to begin singing. E tosto intesa, tosto, it's still used but very rarely in modern Italian, means all of a sudden or just as soon. Intesa means heard, as soon as they hear it. Canta, other birds will join the singing of the cuckoo bird, and these birds are la tortorella, the turtle dove, and il gardellino. Gardellino or cardellino is the goldfinch. And then the second stanza.
Zefiro
dolce spira, ma contesa muove borea improvviso al suo vicino. Here we're talking about winds. Zephyr, the wind. Spira means, in this case, blowing. Dolce, sweet or sweetly, softly. Ma contesa, but at the same time, muove Borea. Borea is another name of another wind. I could call it the Labora, a wind from the north, right in my area. It moves against Zephyr, improvviso al suo vicino. So the two winds, in a way, they clash together, one against the other. Improvviso means suddenly, like improvisation, something that comes in real time. Al suo vicino, to its neighbor. So the two neighboring winds, they blow one against each other. E piange il pastorel perché sospesa teme fiera borrasca e il suo destino. Now, standard modern Italian would be quite different in spelling of these words, but let me just translate quickly. E piange il pastorel. This is very similar to standard modern Italian. E piange, and he cries. Who cries? Il pastorel, the little shepherd. Pastore is shepherd. Pastorel is a small or young shepherd. Perché sospesa? Because teme fiera borrasca. He is afraid of. Temere means to fear, to be afraid of. Fiera borrasca. Fiera in this case does not mean proud as in standard modern Italian, but strong and aggressive. Fiera borrasca, which in modern Italian would be burrasca, is a strong wind and a storm. E il suo destino. So the young shepherd is afraid that a storm might come, and he's afraid for his own destiny. Toglie alle membra l'asse il suo riposo. Following stanza. Il timor dei lampi e tuoni fieri e de mosche e mosconi il stuol furioso. Let's jump to the second line of this stanza. Il timor dei lampi e tuoni fieri. So il timor means the fear. Timore is like a lesser degree of fear. So the fear of lampi, lightning, e tuoni, and thunder. Fieri, once again, the modern Italian word could be feroci, so hard, aggressive, ferocious. Fieri, ferocious. So the fear of lightning and ferocious thunders. What does the fear cause? Toglie alle membra l'asse il suo riposo. So it takes away from. Le membra is the limbs. L'asse means relaxed. Lasso, rilassato, laxed. So to the relaxed limbs, the fear of the oncoming storm takes away what? Il suo riposo, their rest. So the state of rest of the relaxed limbs in the heat of the summer is taken away by the fear that the storm is coming. And also de mosche o mosconi il stuol furioso. So the same fear takes away the relaxation of the limbs and also the il stuol furioso. So stuolo is a group of, could be of people, but in this case it's a group of mosche, flies, and mosconi is another kind of a fly. Bigger moscone is a bigger fly. The furious group of flies and big flies is also taken away by the fear of the incoming storm. And the last stanza, 3 lines goes, che purtroppo i suoi timor son veri. Tuona e fulmina il ciel e grandinoso tronca il capo alle spicche e a grani alteri. And unfortunately, purtroppo, which in modern standard Italian is all one word, purtroppo in 1725 was still divided in 2 words. Che purtroppo, unfortunately, i suoi timor, so the fears, timor of his, so his fears, the fears of the young shepherd, son veri, they are true. In fact, the storm comes, tuona e fulmina il ciel, the sky, tuona, it thunders, e fulmina, and it throws lightning, e grandinoso, and grandine is hail. Grandinoso means the quality of having hail. The hailing sky thunders and throws lightning. Tronca il capo alle spicche e a grani alteri. Tronca, which means it cuts in half, or it cuts what? Il capo, the head, the sky with its hail, cuts the head to whom? To le spighe, which in modern Italian would be le spighe with a G, e a grani alteri, and the spikes or the ears of wheat. Grano is wheat. So the hail coming from the sky and the storm, what do? They cut the heads of the grains of wheat. And this ends today's episode of LIS, Learn Italian Songs, Learn Italian with Songs. Remember to put a like, to write a comment, and donations are always welcome, no matter how small. And I'll see you on the next of LIS, Learn Italian Songs, Learn Italian with Songs. Ciao!